to NGP's Expert Talk series. I'm Smriti from the Grade 12 Commerce stream, here to discuss on millets today. Eat well to live well. A healthy living starts from healthy food habits. Today, let me start with what millets are. Millets are basically small seeded, hardy cereal grains that have been a staple food source of various cultures across the world for centuries. These resilient grains are not just nutritious, but they are also highly ecologically sustainable, making them a crucial component of the world's food security. The United Nations has declared this year as the International Year of Millets to raise awareness about their significance in agriculture and also promote their cultivation and consumption on a global scale. Well, let me now share with you something that I heard from the 100th episode of the Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat some 5 months back. Having quitted a 28-year-long career, K.V. Ramasubba Reddy returned back to farming. He was actually a cost accountant in the corporate field for 28 years, but he had always dreamt of returning back to his village and starting up a business in farming. And that is how he started to cultivate millets. And now he owns a huge empire earning crores. He is now called as Andhra's Millet Man and is appreciated and noted for his exceptional achievements in the millet production. Interesting, isn't it? Well, let me now introduce you to one such farmer's son from our own neighborhood, Shri Selvakumar Varadharajan, founder of Vilfresh. Sir holds a master's degree in finance and control and an MPhil in management. Beyond his corporate accomplishments, Sir also embraces his unique role as a visionary behind laymanism. Currently, Sir serves as the Chief Executive of Vilfresh. The aim of Vilfresh is to bring village-fresh agro products to the urban citizens of India. Sir leads by example, demonstrating his commitment by bridging the gap between farmers and consumers using his expertise and everyday understanding. Not only this, Vilfresh has also created more villagepreneurs, meaning rural people into entrepreneurs. Rural youth have turned into entrepreneurs through Vilfresh. Also, we are glad to know that Vilfresh is a National Sustainable Enterprise Award-winning startup and also a Rashtrapati Bhavan invitee for its exceptional contribution to the rural economy. Congratulations to the entire team of Vilfresh. Good day, sir. I am glad to interact with you today in connection with the United Nations theme of International Year of Millets.
My pleasure.
So, to start with, I would first like to hear from you about your journey towards farming and how you have bridged the gap between consumers and the farmers.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction. And talking about Vilfresh journey, I'll straight away go to Vilfresh journey. We started Vilfresh in 2016. There is a small backstory. Actually, Vilfresh was fathered by a mother, and which I had to mother it as a father. It could sound like a puzzle to you. Vilfresh founder is my best of Sharmila Selvakumar. How she came up with this idea, which I ended up mothering. 2.5 years of mother feeding. After having mother fed our little one for 2.5 years, when we thought of the first external feed, we were uncomfortable with what were available in urban India. So that is the pain point, the spark moment, I would say. Why are we not happy with the agro commodities we buy in urban India? We are not sure of the first mile from where it is getting harvested, and then a lot of adulteration starting from milk. 70% milk in India is adulterated according to government data. So how can we feed our little ones a reliable, credible food? So it all started that way. As a farmer's son, I wanted to solve this with a rural solution to it, because the stakeholders are in rural India, farmers and the rural youth. Farmers, what is the problem they are facing? Any business in the country, people will buy their raw materials at a wholesale price, they sell their outputs at a retail price. But if you look at farmers, they buy all their raw materials at a retail price, they are spending more, they are selling all their agro commodities that they harvest at a wholesale price. So there is something wrong here fundamentally, the ecosystem. We wanted to change that. And again, Indian agri sector, if you look at the average age of Indian farmers has crossed 50 already. So they are getting aged. So how to do anti-aging there? Inject the young blood back. Why rural youth are migrating to urban India? Because farming is not viable for them. They work in the city earning 15,000, 20,000, but they hardly send 3,000 or 4,000 to rural India. We send them back as a market connector. One way, bring the outputs and as an alternate distribution channel. On return, take the agro inputs as an efficient supply chain. So that is the summary of our model, how we started. So we bring everything fresh from farm to your plate, farm to fork we call it. Zero chemical, zero preservative, 100% organic, built by people, for the people, I would call by the layman.
So that was really an amazing story, sir. So to move on with the second question, we've been hearing a lot about millets lately and the various ways that they can be used in our day-to-day life. Could you provide us with an overview of what makes these millets so unique?
Okay. There are quite a good number of actors in the country. When I say the highest paid, the richest South Indian actor, who comes to your mind?
The richest, maybe Rajinikanth, Kamala.
Superstar. Thank you. And millet is the superstar of Indian agri ecosystem. The reason being, how many years and decades, I'm sorry for the usage years, how many decades Rajinikanth is dominating the industry? Okay, the recent movie he quotes that your grandpa, your father, your child, he is of that kind in Indian cine industry. Same way, in Indian agri industry, millets have a very, very rich history. Millets, the other reasons, the health benefits you will know, as we progress we cover that, but millets are drought resilient. It could sustain for decades and it is our soil friendly. The current crisis that we read in southern part of India today, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, people are fighting for water, the crisis happening. I would say had we continued with millet harvest the way we had been doing a few centuries back, this water crisis would not have arisen. When people move towards paddy and sugarcane, which requires very, very higher amount of water compared to millet, everything started there. Our consumption pattern changed, harvesting pattern changed. It is causing a huge trouble to the entire ecosystem and environment. So I would say millet is our lifeline today.
Sir, so could you share some of the farming practices and new technologies that you've been seeing among farmers to sustainably enhance the growth of millets?
Fortunately, I would say millets cultivation in India doesn't require much of an innovation because it is made for our soil. In the ongoing cricket World Cup, if you see, even a superpowers like Australia, they are finding it really difficult having lost the first two matches. The reason being, the foreign players find it tough to play in Indian soil. The same way, the foreign seeds are struggling in Indian soil. When you harvest all these kind of foreign imported food system, seeds, everything, you need to complement it with a lot of chemicals and pesticides. That is where we are spoiling the environment and human health system. Millet, it is Indian soil friendly, but technology wise, yes, even satellite imagery and GPS led machinery, there are so many technological advancements. The harvesting and cultivation pattern, the intercropping, I would say one of the best practices to enhance the soil fertility, and also optimal utilization of the land in today's context. And as I have already mentioned, the need for chemical and pesticides are very minimal. These millets, people are trying with bio-friendly pest control by going for a friendly insects. There are so many ways that they are trying to keep it organic to stay away from chemical and fertilizer farming.
That's great, sir. I really do hope that millets receive their importance back on the Indian soil. And as we celebrate 2023 as an important year for millets, I also hope that India gets one more World Cup in the ongoing match.
Yeah.
Sir, so what are the various nutritional benefits of millets?
Well, talking about nutritional benefits of millets, let us not make it too academic. When you guys buy something, you turn and see the contents, what is there, 3%, 4%. I would say believe in your grandparents. They tell it is good for your health. Consume it. I'd like to throw some light on one example about the study which was conducted by Avinasilingam University, our own Coimbatore. They did a scientific study with hundreds of children by feeding them two health mix from the international player. Let me not name them. What they did was they had two set of children. One set of children, they were feeding those health mix powder with the water, the other one with the milk. People consumed it with milk, they had grown taller, they had better outcome when it comes to their health. But people have been thinking that by consuming this powder which was sold by MNCs, they were getting it. We are that ignorant, I would say. Millets, it has everything. Starting from nutrition, you name it, it is there. Okay, Google could help that better. And they are antioxidant, they keep you young, and it is good for your guts. And 100% millets could give you a healthy lifestyle. It can keep you away from doctor.
Yes, sir. People should really understand the importance of millets and consume it on a day-to-day basis. Sir, so coming to the global issue, climate changes, millets are known for their resilience under various environmental conditions. So, how can they play a role in mitigating the impact of climate change on agriculture?
The climatic conditions, climatic change, these are all extraneous factors. We have very minimal say on that, but how can we be proactive in sustaining the agri initiatives? I would say millet cultivation is definitely a drought resilient, so it requires less water, as I have been repeatedly telling, and it is heat resilient, and compared to other commodities, it is very short span cultivable commodity, and most importantly it is carbon neutral as well. The carbon green gas emission, if you call it, compared to any other commodities, this has the lowest. It is scientifically proven. Few more if I have to add, as it requires lesser amount of water, it conserves the soil fertility and makes agriculture a viable value proposition for farmers. You are spending less. They do not need a lot of chemicals and fertilizers, as these millets are not fertilizer friendly. When you don't use pesticide, what is the alternate? You need the farmer friendly insects there. So it results in biodiversity. In addition to this farmer friendly insects, it preserves this ecosystem for next generation. So this is how we could mitigate the impact and sustain our efforts.
So, we already have a lot of struggles ongoing in our day-to-day life. I really do hope that our cultivation pattern does not lead us to an extent where we start fighting for water and there is a World War III for water. Okay. So, thank you for that, sir. So, going on to the next question, are there any ongoing research initiatives or policy efforts aimed at promoting millet cultivation in our country?
Okay, millet, starting from the MSP, I would call it a lot of policy push from the central government, and also we are lobbying at the international level. we could take few tens, almost 100 countries on our side to declare this an international millet year. And with the above the line push, a lot of below the line initiatives are happening at root level. All our government agencies, they are working towards increasing the millet harvest in India, and the best thing is they are not stopping there. They are working on creating the demand for that product by working on the demand side by creating the awareness. Today you are interviewing us, and that itself is a great achievement by the government, I would say.
Oh, that is interesting, sir, that the government is also helping the millet production in our country. So, moving on to the next question. We all know that agriculture has more to it as a profession than just working on the fields. So, will entrepreneurs or new startup businesses find a place in this sector? What do you think, sir?
Entrepreneurs, they always scout for problems. The simple reason being, they look at problems as an opportunity. Indian economy, if you take, many in India think that of three main sectors contributing to Indian economy: agriculture, industry and service. You ask a set of 100 children, they will rank agriculture as rank 1. They think that agriculture contributes the maximum to Indian economy, but that's not the fact. Agriculture is a third place where service is dominating. More than 60% of Indian economy is dominated by service sector. Agriculture, despite engaging 50% of Indian population, is at third place. Why I am quoting this is, agriculture sector has become an underdog. That means the problems are aplenty. People with entrepreneurial mindset, they will pick agriculture as their first choice when they think of entrepreneurship. I am sitting here as an ambassador to Indian agriculture sector.
So as we celebrate the International Year of Millets, what message would you like to convey to the current generation about the importance of millets and ensuring a sustainable future?
Okay, millets are not just grains. They are the superheroes on your plate. Okay, I would say they are the Avengers of this food world. When we mean Avengers, each and every millets, they come with a unique superpower. Okay, the finger millet fights malnutrition. Pearl millet is defending against the drought. Foxtail, it is the guardian for the green environment. My request would be to stop talking and start consuming. At Vilfresh, we are working with few hundreds of farmers. We understand the pain that they go through. The biggest challenge that they have is doing away from chemicals and fertilizers. As you know, the climatic conditions, so many extraneous factors do play a nasty role in killing the viability of this agriculture business. But still, farmers want to stick to it and feed you for decades to come. How can we support them? By buying from the farmers, by buying from the organic farmers, by buying from the farmers, those who are sticking to the conventional and traditional way of harvesting, by staying away from the unwanted chemicals and preservatives. What you have must be food. There was a saying food as medicine. Now, half of the food has become medicine. Let us be wise in what we consume, what we procure, whom we support. That would be my request to you, the foodies.
So, millets really are the avengers of all the possible agricultural crops. So, we should really promote them. So, thank you, sir. That was really indeed a great deal of information on millets. I also take this opportunity to thank our dear parents, especially our dear moms, who had contributed to raising awareness among the students by preparing healthy millet meals and snacks last month as we celebrated the International Year of Millets. So, watch the glimpses that we took during our celebration. Hope our audience would have equally benefited from this interaction as much as I did. So, meet you soon with yet another expert and keep learning. Thank you everyone.